Hey everyone, welcome to Buzzing About Romance. I am Becky, and joining me for this episode is Jenni. Hi, Jenni.
Hey, Becky.
And you're in your hometown Heartless t-shirt.
I am.
Nice.
I thought I would represent.
And Amanda. Hi, Amanda.
Hello.
And Leah. Hello, Leah.
Hello, Becky.
Okay, it is hump day. We made it to Wednesday.
We did.
We have 1 week left of April. One more Rockstar book after this one.
April is never ending.
Well, there are 5 Wednesdays in April.
Well, there's a lot of just April this year.
There is. Well, and I have some big thoughts on this book. So let's just dive on in. So this week, our review in Rockstar April is of Heartbreak and Harmony by Brit Benson. Who wants to tell us all the things?
I can do it.
Okay,
so
don't
this
sound
book was
like
released...
so unexcited about it. Be like,
I was like, she's got to do it because she's like writing
typing in there right now.
The pop wasn't in there. I had to put the pop in.
Oh, sorry, I forgot the pop.
It's okay. Anyway, so it was released August 16th, 2024. The tropes are rockstar, second chance, fake relationship, close proximity, and damaged main characters. It is the part of the Hometown Heartless series. It is a series of interconnected standalones. It's told in dual first person. The put out percentage is 30 or 53%, but it does happen in a flashback. And then I don't remember what the present time was. The audio narrators, if you do the audiobook, is duet style, which are Sella Hunter and Stephen Dexter, who I love Stephen Dexter, but and it is available in Kindle Unlimited, and it is an Audible exclusive. Content trigger warnings. There is a lot of talk about drug use and those sorts of things. So if that's an issue for you.
Yeah, Brit has a full list of content warnings on her website. You can go over there and look at them. I didn't do the audio. Couple of reasons. I hate duet style. But
No,
sometimes
really?
sometimes I can muscle
know.
through.
Well,
But
it depends on the narrators, though.
but I'm not a huge Stella Hunter fan. And so I decided to eyeball this. And I want to be really real and really honest with our listeners. I made it to 65% and then I Leah'd it.
Can I just say the fact that we're using that as a verb now?
Right.
I will also be honest, I skipped every chapter that was a flashback because they were fucking annoying.
That's fair.
There were too many.
There were too many.
Well, there was nothing happening in the flashback,
right.
and we only got her point of view.
There was a lot not happening in a lot of the book.
The book was 120 pages too long.
Yeah.
Well, the part that Becky did not read was when everything happened.
Yeah.
Well, I just couldn't anymore, you guys.
Well, and I will fully admit that I skipped a chunk in the middle because I got bored. And I don't feel like I missed anything.
Okay, so this is going to be a fun review tonight. And I actually did talk to Jenni earlier today because, first of all, we both loved the first book in this series.
Yeah, Between Never and Forever.
We loved it. And this book, I was excited for it. I really did see potential for Torrin. It definitely book 2 sophomore slumped.
Yeah, I would agree.
See, I like this
strong.
one better than the first one.
You did.
I don't like Savannah or Levi, either one. I liked that book. I thought it was well done, but I didn't like either one of them. I liked Torrin and Callie better. Callie.
I did not read book 1, so I have nothing to compare it to, but I really was not a fan.
I mean, I didn't there were too many flashbacks or whatever, but just for me personally, character wise, I liked Torrin and Callie better.
Okay.
I think that he had a decent character arc and growth, but it just took so long to get there.
So let's talk
Well-
about Torrin a little bit. The broody,
Okay.
he is the stereotypical damaged, broody rock star with the mysterious past.
But it's no.
What were you going to
Say
say?
it, Jenni. Say it.
Okay. So in the first book, we learn about this. Like his brother Sean was also in the band.
Right.
Okay.
They made a
Yes.
group decision, like he's done, he's too much, like, which I'm not really sure how they came to that decision, being they were all on drugs
Yeah.
and not
Right.
really with it, but apparently this guy's at a next level, so he gets kicked out and ends up in prison. And that becomes like a major part of the plot line further
Yeah.
in the book.
It does, yeah.
So yeah, that's why his like relationship with his family is on the outs. Like his mom and brothers see him as like choosing the band over family.
Yeah. So what was it, Amanda, for you with Torrin that you really liked? Because one of my struggles with him was he just was so freaking broody and closed off. And I think that it diminished the chemistry between them.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I read that right after Lilac.
Oh, well.
Like I went like immediately
better
into
than
it.
that.
So I
Into
was like, oh, this is so much better.
Yeah. Fair.
Well,
And then
and there is a threesome in this
Yes,
book,
I was
so
like-
there's more than
Yeah.
Okay, can we
So
talk
I was
about
like,
that
"Oh,
real-
book had.
Can we talk about the threesome real quick? It was
Yeah.
stupid.
It
It
was
made
not
no
needed at
sense.
all.
It wasn't needed. I don't think it added
No.
any development to the characters or the story. It didn't help their chemistry. Amanda, do you think differently?
No, not really. I mean, I didn't mind it, but it didn't add anything. Like it wasn't. I didn't hate it. I'm still very much like last week when I was reading. I was still very much just like in a very mellow mood about things that I was
Okay.
reading. Not so
I-
much this week. So anyway,
Well, and
I-
that's where the pop happens in present day.
yes.
Like they don't have sex together with like
Out
just
him
the
at
two of
first.
them. Yeah.
Yeah, that
Well,
was
but I
probably my
thought it was
biggest problem
weird.
with that.
But I think it was forced, like that whole aspect of it, because I didn't think it seemed genuine, and it was like
Yeah, it was not needed. It was
I didn't like it.
So their chemistry, and maybe it's because of how I read the book. And I should say that eyeball reading after editing all day can be a challenge for me. So I
Mhm.
really have to
Yeah.
like focus in, and my eyes do get tired, but I struggled a lot with the chemistry between them. And then there's that threesome, and it didn't
It
help
throws you
their
out.
chemistry. And I will say every flashback I was thrown completely out of the book.
Yeah.
And I'm so over flashbacks. I mean, I can't read Ashley Muniz because every book that sister does is,
the book.
half the book is a flashback. Why can't we write stories in present day? Why can't you give me a second chance romance in a present day setting? Why?
Well, and I think this book you could have incorporated the stuff that was in the flashbacks without the flashbacks.
Yeah.
If
Or
that
we
makes
could have had a prologue.
Well, but
Yeah.
the thing is, I like the prologue. Like, I really like the setup of this book. Like, she hooked me in. Like, I was super excited. And then, like, as you go, like, you get those flashbacks and it throws you out. Like, she could have done like a part one, or like have the prologue and then a part one, like where they meet, and have like 2 or 3 chapters of like the art festival or the music festival itself, and then dive into the story itself. I think the setup of this book really hindered the storyline,
So
because the prologue was awesome. I was like, hot damn, this is gonna be really good, because like
It
it's the
confused me though, because I had read the first book and I'd forgotten what happened at the end of that book. So I was like, wait, what? And I was very confused until we got a few chapters in and I was like, oh, okay. I was like, did that happen before? Is this happening now? Where am I?
And
but
there-
coming
I
into
think
it
that-
fresh, like it was
Yeah.
a really good hook.
there is a note like at the beginning that it's like 4 months after the
Yeah.
first book.
Yeah, and I think I just confused myself trying to figure out like at what point they
Where
were
did
from
it
the
end?
last book. Yeah.
So the whole forgot her trope felt dragged out. Like,
Yeah.
and I'm curious really for you, Jenni, because you like your characters to have, you know, that deep, meaningful connection. And the way he forgot her stuff dragged out, you never get that with these two.
I would agree, you don't. And that was why I say like you could have done without the flashbacks, because he doesn't remember her like for quite
Yeah.
a while. And then when he does, he says he remembers everything, but apparently he does not. And
Well, yeah.
those flashbacks are only in her point of view.
Yeah.
So you don't even know what he was like. Was he just doing like, was he being revengeful? Was he just high? Like, you have no idea.
Which I mean, you do find out at one point, but it's like almost
It was
too
a-
late.
Yeah,
It
it was a
doesn't
very
really
quick
matter
wrap
at
up.
that
We could have
point.
gotten it before, yeah.
I also feel like Jonah, for his role, it was confusing, it was intrusive, it squashed the chemistry, and it took up a lot of emotional growth that could have been happening between Callie and Torin.
So this is part of my issue with the whole threesomes like thing, is because he was like, she pegged him as like this villain, like love triangle interest.
I thought you were saying there was pegging, and I was like, wait, I missed pegging. I didn't see that part.
I would have texted you if I read about that.
Because you're like, she pegged him. And my head goes, what?
No,
There was pegging in this book?
the author pegged him as this villainous person who's like trying to create discourse and chaos. But then they have like that interaction. And so that's why I said it didn't feel genuine. Like, because none of them, like, Jonah does not seem to get along with anybody at any point in this
Well,
book.
and yeah, and I think that's where it's like really important to read the first book, because you know, like, he's basically the like wave maker in the band now.
But then he
yeah.
basically
Which is
disappears
fine.
as soon as the menage is done.
Yeah, like
So
like all the animosity, all like the picking, like all of that stuff. It's like, oh, well, we're okay now because we did this. And so it just seemed, I don't know. I didn't like that part of it. Like,
Well,
you can have him be that kind of character, but he has to stay continuous.
well, and he was also back from rehab, but like they're still like letting him drink and smoke weed, and I'm like,
Yeah, as long as it's not the hard stuff, right?
right?
Yeah.
I'm like,
When they
I'm
were-
pretty
well,
sure
so
that's
there-
not how rehab works.
There was a line in there, like how they're all sober now. And then I was like, does she understand the meaning of sober? Because, like, you can be a sober person and not drink, but still, like, smoke weed. But, like, the way.
no, you can't be
No,
like,
you
I'm
can't.
sober if you're
No.
still drinking and smoking the Mary
Well, yes,
Joanna.
But
You
I'm saying, like,
can't.
the way it came across is like none of them did anything anymore.
Oh,
I mean,
man.
that's
And,
like saying,
they're all doing stuff.
that's like saying, I'm not a sex addict, but I still like rub one
Well,
out
that was
like
in the last
every
book.
hour. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, I think
My
like
thing
the
is,
only
there's
ones
just
that
a
are
lot of.
sober is Savannah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just had issues with some of that too.
Okay, so can we talk about Callie for a little bit, because
Yes.
she was so much hypocrisy within her that it was frustrating, and I really hated her because she shames groupies, yet she engages in the
She's a
exact same
total
kind of
groupie.
behavior.
She is
Like-
a total groupie.
Sister, this is a pot. It is black. I'm
Here's
just
the kettle.
like, what's a pot? Calling the kettle black.
Yeah.
Whatever. You knew what I was getting at the example.
I did.
She made me crazy. And honestly, I think if she had been a better character, like more of a Levi-esque character, or even like Red, like that strong, authoritative, like, I'm going I think I would have loved this book. But she would say
She's
one
also
thing
23.
and dumber
Well,
than
and
a box of
she's
rocks.
19 at the
The start.
festival.
She's just very immature.
Yeah.
And I think that was part of the problem. But like my thing was
Okay,
like
wait.
if she
I forgot how old she was. I would like to comment. Stella Hunter does not sound like a 23-year-old.
No.
She does not sound young.
I didn't listen. I don't know.
And also,
anyway,
can we stop casting narrators as 23-year-olds when they're 40 plus? Because I don't sound like a 23-year-old.
no.
But my question, are there, and I'm just asking because I do not know this because I don't listen to that many audiobooks that are not graphic audio, but are there that many popular narrators that are in that age range?
Angela Roca, she
Okay.
is under 40. I think she's early 30s. There's a Cassie Metcalf.
Well,
Kelly
Janine
Dalton.
Granada actually, I think she is a little bit older, but she sounds younger.
There are definitely
Okay.
ones that sound younger. It's just like Aiden Snow, Sebastian York. They have no business voicing 20-year-olds. They do not sound 20.
No, I get it. I was just asking just because I don't
No, they're
listen to that
same.
much.
Are they going to be the toppest tier? But
Yeah.
no, but there's
No.
like that Paige Renfield, I think is her last name. She wears an orange hat on TikTok. She does a lot of audio. Her husband's name is PJ. They both are audiobook narrators. She sounds young.
Like that's the thing. Like there are some audio narrators, like no matter their age, like because I like there are a couple that are a little bit older, but they definitely have that young octave, young like
Yeah.
tone to them. But
I think Kelly
Stella-
Dalton, Savannah Peachwood, they both come off as young in their voicing. I just don't feel like Stella Hunter comes off young. She has a mom voice, is what it
Yeah,
is.
and I mean, I don't listen to a lot of audiobooks, but if you're listening to this book and a person that sounds older is Callie, like, yeah, that
Well,
could be.
but my thing is like the way that this character is portrayed, like they had like she was at that festival, they got signed, they got screwed out of their contract. Her mom has a stroke, so like she goes home, like partially because of the contract issue and partially because of her mom. Like, so they're struggling. She's working 2 jobs. I would think that at that point, like just the life that she is leading would create a more mature personality and aspect to her than we got.
Well, and I think that her behaviors undermine her credibility and her empowerment as a character moving through this book. Like,
Yeah.
her immaturity, which is fine, but at some point she has to grow up. And I don't feel like she ever grew up. And Jonah is older too, right? Like he's 30.
He's 29.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Torin.
or
Yeah,
Torin.
they're both 29, right?
What did
Or
I call
around that
him?
age, I think.
They're all around like the band is all around
They're
the same
around
Jonah.
each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I struggled with like her empowerment. I wanted her to be stronger. I wanted more from her. And I don't know.
I think we would have saw that more if, like, because piano becomes a big thing in the second half of the book, like her playing piano, like her inability to play piano at the same level after the accident.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this didn't seem that important.
Yeah, I would
until
have like
you couldn't do it.
Yeah, I would have like if we like cut out about a large portion of those flashbacks and had the accident happen earlier.
Yeah.
So that they had
Yeah.
more to deal with post accident, because that was a content warning and I expected it to happen much earlier than it did, and I thought it was going to be a really big part of it because it was an actual content warning.
Well, and that's the thing too. Don't you feel like there was all this emotional, rich themes, like the content warning of her inability to play music again and her accident? Like there was all these potential, like emotionally rich themes, but the execution lacked. There was the lack of chemistry, the lack of consistency. The character development was just not quite there yet. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it felt like she like started and like she just couldn't find her foothold, like writing the book. She couldn't find her foothold. And then when she found it, she was like, crap.
Yeah.
Well, and I think that's part of the thing. Like the book, like itself, it kind of like the beginning wasn't so bad because like you get the introduction of the characters and things like that. But there was such a chunk in the middle where it kind of dragged. And it's like I think she was just like writing to get words out, but just we were just in this cyclical like spin that she didn't know where to go with it, hence throwing in the threesome and like things like that, almost for like shock value. But
Yeah, and her author note seems to suggest that as well. Like she really struggled with this book, and I think you can
Yeah.
Yeah.
that.
Well, and I wonder if authors, and this is not anything personal, but I do wonder if some authors realize that self-awareness, that if you're struggling with the book, it is likely your readers are going to pick up on that. And sometimes you have to
well,
have that moment where I'm going to just set this down then for now.
that's the thing. I would much rather like an author say, I'm having trouble with the book. I'm not going to write these characters right now. Set it down and give me a different like book. Give me a different series, like anything, like something that like you feel really good about, and then you can go back to this one. Because I mean, every author has different ways in which their characters speak to them. And I don't feel like these characters were speaking well.
Or not loud enough, or maybe the characters, she knew them, but she didn't know them. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
Yes.
Um,
That's actually like Callie says that about Torin.
oh, she does, doesn't she?
Yeah.
She does. So yes, it does make sense.
So, is there any pivotal scene in this book that you were like, wow, that was fantastic? Because there were, in Between Never and Forever, there were several scenes where I was like, whoa, wow. I didn't get any whoa, wow scenes in this book.
Honestly, like my only whoa wow was like when he like finds out that she took the car keys and comes across the accident. That was my only like moment. But we had got it in the prologue and then we get it again. Like she just gave us the exact same scene later, which I also didn't love, but that's a me thing.
What about you, Amanda? Were there any like, whoa, like, wow, this is like a really great scene, or this is just that moment that you're like, oh, yeah, okay.
I don't know if they were whoa wow, but I mean, I don't know what it was. I just kind of I liked when they were faking kissing and he kind of like leans in and they're posing for the photographers and I feel like they had chemistry in those moments. And then I liked the part where he shows her his tattoo. Um they weren't like whoa wow, but I liked them.
Yeah. What about you, Jenni? Did you have any whoa, wow moments in this book?
I mean, like the whole like stalker thing with Savannah, I was kind of like, I don't think it's about her. So when it came to be like his brother, I was like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, that makes
I
sense.
knew it was him when he went home. I was like, it's him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, I don't know. It just felt like there were a lot of missing pieces and it didn't feel like Brit's emotional. I didn't get the emotional payoff. It didn't feel like the writing I've come to expect from a
Mhm.
Brit
No, because
Benson book.
any Brit book that I've read, like I always feel like a little bit emotionally like deflated, not deflated, but like
Spent.
spent. Yes, I'm emotionally spent at the end of one of her books typically. And this one, I was like, oh, it's over now.
So I would have said, so I'm coming off this book after doing a brief reread of um the Brittany Cherry Book
Waters.
Club book,
The
Yeah.
Silent Waters.
Which,
Yeah.
I
Silent
mean, that
Waters.
thing, hot damn,
And I
that's
really went
emotional.
into it and I was like, oh, this is going to be another emotional, it's going to wring me out, which will be perfect because, lady problems and I could use a good cry and people are frustrating. And then I was more angry at the book. Like, I
Mhm.
wanted to lash out at them.
And I think that's the thing. Like, she's one of those authors who, like, she's typically not a bingeable author because you are so, like, rocked with, like, chaos after you finish it. But I did not get that. I didn't get that payoff, and I felt a little cheated.
Yeah. Um, Okay, so I'm going to ask because I'm curious. Jenni, will you read the next book in the series, Jonah's book?
Yeah, because I was looking forward to Jonah's book before this book, so I will read the
Yeah.
next one.
What about you, Amanda? Will you read the next book?
Oh yeah, if I'd have had time, I would have gone right into it.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
I just didn't have time.
Leah.
I'm going to because I'm really curious how she gives Claire a redemption arc because she was horrible in the next life.
Yeah, in that
Duet.
next life duet, Claire is like the
She's the villain.
trashiest human ever.
And so, like, I am curious how she is going to make her a likable character. Well,
Yeah.
and also, but I don't know if I can read it because I didn't like Jonah's character really at all. And the name
maybe
kind
they
of threw me off
deserve-
because he's such a terrible character.
But I
So
wonder-
I may have to rename him.
Well, you can rename him, but I do
I
wonder
will
if his
name him.
character is better outside of that threesome because I really don't feel like that was consistent to who he was as a character in the first book.
Fair.
I really feel like that was done as a shock value. Like,
That dude's got like a lot of issues, and like
Yeah.
therapy Thursday, like you guys are only going once a month. Like you need to bump it up.
I mean, they need to go like 2 or 3 times a week.
should there be an
Yeah.
on-staff therapist with him at all times?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. That would reduce some stress for the rest of the band too.
Probably.
Well, there's just a lot of toxicity all around.
Is there anything else in this book we feel like we need to talk about?
I did like her sister.
Oh
Yes.
Claire's sister.
Lori.
Yeah, Floribel.
Well, and that's the one you're curious if she's going to get a book, right?
No, I asked Mabel.
Oh,
is
Mabel.
the bisexual drummer
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know.
with pink hair. Yeah.
I don't know.
But she's in her relationship with her model, so probably not. Which is fine. Good for her. That was funny though, like that one scene where she's like, she's still sleeping, I wore her out.
Yeah.
That's like, good for you.
Good for you.
But she did also say that, that they weren't out, allowed to come out to the public. So she could have
well, that's
she could have a story with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be a good one. I would read that.
So Jonah's book is next, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's book 3.
Does it list on Amazon how many books are in the series?
I don't think so.
Well,
Let me
that
look.
one just came out. So
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
like-
So it might still say 3 of 3.
A couple weeks ago, I think.
yeah.
Okay.
But I think there is another one.
So maybe the drummer will get a book.
It's just these ones for now, but I could have sworn I saw something somewhere.
Okay.
Give me a second.
You tell us what you got.
Yes.
I do hope duet style goes away for audiobooks.
I don't think it's going to.
Here's the thing though. Some people love duet style. So
Some
it's
people
not
are
going
stupid,
away.
but I still love them, but they need to stop it. They're ruining audiobooks for me. I have thoughts on that.
We are aware.
Do you?
We-
Do you have
Yeah.
thoughts?
I do.
Tell us more, Rebecca.
Okay, Leah. Let's do our thumbs up, thumbs down while Leah figures out her own problems. She needs therapy
I don't
Thursday.
have problems.
Jenni, thumbs up, thumbs down on Of Heartbreak and Harmony by Brit Benson.
I'm a sideways. If I didn't love the first book, I probably wouldn't have like made it all the way through this book, but I think she was just trying to recapture that like
Magic.
dramatic, yeah,
Yeah.
of the first book. But I will read the next book.
Amanda, thumbs up, thumbs down.
I'm gonna go thumbs sideways. I was not in the mood to read like a seriously angsty book, so I was kind of like happy that it didn't go that way. I was just very kind of ambivalent when I read that book, but I can see the problems with the story, but I liked Torin.
Yeah, he is a classic
I'm-
asshole, which
Yeah,
Amanda has a
of
type.
course, that's what I love. So I mean, honestly, like it didn't bother me because it was so much better than Lilac. I was just happy to not be reading Lilac anymore.
That is
I mean,
so
and I'm gonna read the
fair.
next book, so thumbs sideways. I mean, I can see the problems, but it didn't bother me.
It didn't bother you. Leah, are you a thumbs up or a thumbs down?
I'm a thumb sideways too, because I did not hate the book. Like I didn't like I enjoy Brit's writing overall. This definitely was not her strongest book, but it did not put me off of her writing either. I didn't There was definitely some problems with the book, and I think that having a shorter story and revamping like the way the story was told, it would have been a really strong book.
I'm a thumbs down. I still will read a Brit Benson book. But it's going to be a minute before I pick up another one. I feel like some trusts were broken here, and I really can't handle any more flashbacks. And I am very concerned that Jonah's gonna and Sam are gonna be, or not Sam, Claire are gonna be filled with flashbacks, and I'm gonna want to like throat punch someone. And I can't. So this is a thumbs down for me. I really wish that I could convey to authors that you can give us a solid second chance kind of story by showing us instead of telling us
Well,
the
and also
past.
like having a conversation about like what happened in the past. Like
Yeah.
do that.
It just was too
Right,
many
it's-
pages and too much.
Yeah,
for me.
especially since he like was not fully with it. Like she could have
Yeah.
just been like, "Hey, yo."
Yeah. Yeah, it just wasn't. Anyway, thumbs down for me. However, I did do my research and found some books that we haven't quite talked about yet that I think would be fits. So if you liked this book or wanted a little bit better of a book with some emotional angst to it, what book should people try? Does anybody have any titles they would like to share?
I have nothing this week.
This is not
I
a big
only
shock.
have one. Well, it's kind of like two in the same series because it was really all I had that wasn't already on the list.
You
I
can
actually
take any of the
think-
ones off my list.
No.
Seriously,
I-
take them.
No, I had this one's good. I feel like this is a good one. Bad Luck by Jacinda Wilder, actually.
Oh, that would be a
It's-
good one.
those are
It's
good
the
ones.
first one. It's Corin and Tate, so it's the twins and the twins,
Yeah.
the back-to-back books with Bad Luck and Bad Mojo. And I just feel like that's a whole lot of drama because they originally go in planning to hook up the opposite way than
With
it
the
ends
other
up.
twin.
Yeah.
And so you kind of get like it's like there's a scene where they're all kind of in the
So
same house.
the first
and
book is Bad Luck, right?
yes, that's
I-
Corin and Tate.
Love that one.
Yeah.
Because they are so unexpected.
Yeah.
And that Bad series is so good.
It's just really good.
Just read it.
That was all I had.
Jenny, do you have any suggestions?
I would say Cake by Jay Bensington is like it's got the trauma piece, and there are kind of flashbacks, but they're only from his like trauma. So
They're from his trauma, and I think there's like a total of 3. Not in
Yeah,
every other
it's-
chapter kind of vibe.
right. And I just feel like we get kind of the like they have a much better meet cute. And then like, like kind of plucking the girl out of a random place.
Yeah. So I have The Words by Ashley Jade. Very rock star, very emotional. Sinners on Tour series by Olivia Cunning. It's that whole band dynamic. It's very interconnected. I have Ripple Effect by Jay Bensington because, again, there's kind of that trauma bonding and
Some major trauma.
some major
Yeah.
trauma bonding. But it's done in a way that there's like deep rooted connection and the chemistry feels real. And then they do kind of have that first act, second act kind of moment between the two of them.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
And they get their therapy.
Yeah, and they get therapy. Girl with the
And
Stars.
it's not just once a month.
Yeah.
Zio Axelrod, her series The Lilies. We haven't talked about that one, but that's a really great series with
It is a
emotions
good one.
that's dealing with some trauma and past hurts and stuff like that. The favorite so far of the two is The Girl with Stars in Her Eyes. But if you want the female drummer, that's the second book. The Fractured Rock Star series by L.M. Daglish. I know I'm saying that name incredibly wrong every time I say it. But it starts with an emotional beginning, and each book just builds. Pushing Daisies by Heather Young Nicholas, especially if you want that. It's something I really felt like we need more in all of these Rockstar books. Like if you want that they're on tour vibe and kind of closed in together, Pushing Daisies by Heather Young Nicholas gives you that. The Falling Stars series by A.L. Jackson.
Yeah.
And then The Wish Upon the Star by Jacinda Wilder, if you're really looking for that emotional young characters. But check content and trigger warnings on that book because there's a lot that happens in that book. And now that I say it, it doesn't end in an HA, does it? Oh, yes, it does. Because the HA is a little bonkers. It's a little bonkers.
I don't know.
I do. It's a little bonkers.
The Cabin is the one that doesn't end in the HAA, isn't it?
It does, but just differently.
Well,
No, the Star one is the
is
Cancer.
oh, I remember now.
The heroine. Okay, I'm going to
Yes, you
spoil
don't
this.
have
So if
to
you don't want to know
Don't
this,
spoil. I
fast
remember
forward 30 seconds. The heroine has cancer and he's the rock star and they hook up. And then and they have some moments together and
now. Like
then
she's dying.
she's
Not
dying.
just cancer, she's dying.
Right. Okay.
And then there's a miracle. They pray the cancer away. And they end up happily ever after.
Your faces. Yep.
That's why I said it's bonkers, because we prayed the cancer away. Like she's in the hospital.
Yep, that would be a trigger warning for me.
Like incurable.
Yep.
Stage
Yep.
4.
You know,
Yep.
people
That is
have
a
faith.
major red flag for me.
People have faith. I try to be respectful of that.
I'm aware.
Yeah. Anyway,
Okay.
that's why I said bonkers.
Yep, that's like making me sick to my stomach.
Oh no, Jenny. Sorry. I need like a little red flag. Red
Thank
flag,
you,
red
Becky,
flag.
for triggering Jenny tonight.
Anytime I trigger Jenny, we just need like a little red flag. Red flag.
Like a little purple flag for Jenny.
Or maybe Jenny needs the flags. Like when we're talking about something and she starts to feel
no,
triggered,
no,
she can be like,
no.
no, 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 no,
You
no.
Bonnie
gotta
says she
focus on
loves you,
that one.
Jenny.
Anyway, I'll buy you a set of flags, Jenny.
Okay.
You can be like an air traffic
You
controller.
have to have like the
Green flag.
colors. Like
Red
I'm
flag.
in green. It's like your safe word cards.
Yes.
We'll work on the stoplight system, but colors of Jenny's cheesy.
Right.
Here we go.
So teal, purple, and pink.
Yep.
We just have to decide which one is which.
What is the red flag?
What
So
is-
maybe
yeah, what
it's
is red?
teal, pink, and purple, and then a red flag.
Yeah.
And that's the big like
that's-
stop. Anyway, Amanda, do you need a set of flags?
I mean, just for that kind of
Yeah.
thing, I think. I mean, just that.
Just that. I said it was bonkers. I gave warning.
I didn't know
Like,
that was the bonkers we were talking about.
Right,
I thought
like,
we were gonna have like
did
some
not-
kind of ghost story or something. Like
I do
Like
like a good
Ghost.
ghost.
yeah. I mean, I would have been okay if she came back
I would
as a
read
ghost.
that.
You know.
And the ghosts do it. How do ghosts do
No.
it?
Just
Yes,
one of
they
them
do.
is a
They get a
ghost.
corporeal form. I have lots of ghosts. Yeah, I could send you some.
Interesting. Now I'm really curious about this because I did laugh because this is on topic sort of about ghosts. Did you see Vera Valentine signing all of her Planet Oster books? She
No.
had like a reel and then she was sharing it on Threads, and all I was thinking is, so today I took a lunch break and I was like, I'm just going to reread this because it was Easter and I love that book. That
You
book,
and Merritt. Merritt actually had a TikTok talking about it the other day.
it makes me smile. So big, that book. Anyway, because who doesn't like, alien chicks that are pastel with colors,
I mean, sure, that's got to be a fun Easter read.
right?
Yeah.
Right? We all need that. Okay. I think that's it. Anything else we need to talk about?
I think we've covered it all tonight.
I don't think
And then
so.
some.
Did we though? Did we really?
Yeah, I'm good.
If not, we always have Sunday.
We do always have Sunday. So that's a wrap on this episode. We hope you enjoyed our deep dive into Of Heartbreak and Harmony by Brit Benson. We will be back Sunday night, 9 p.m. right here on the YouTube. We think we have narrowed down our topic, but this is why we never tell people our topics in advance.
I mean, we do sometimes.
When we're set.
We rarely are set, though.
Yeah.
Well, we have been more set recently, though.
Except then you and I talked today, and I was like, I'm not feeling that. I'm not vibing with that. And you're like, okay.
I know. We were, yeah, it was the worst because she's like, what about you? I'm like, I like none of those.
Like we had that meeting on Friday, and I was like, oh, I really liked all those. And then I sat down today to look at them, and I'm like,
we hated them.
I don't want to do it.
I'm feeling so uninspired. And then I think, what is wrong with us?
It's the random text that Amanda got in the middle of the day of like, could we do this one?
Okay, so
sure.
I do want to say this. If you are a listener and you have an episode idea, you have a trope, a microtrope, a genre, or a question you would like us to do an episode on, please message us, DM us, email us, use the contact form on our website. Whatever you have to do, put it in Discord. We are really kind of slowing down on some ideas, could use some fresh inspiration. I mean, it needs to be romance, open door specific. I don't know that we could do an episode on like closed door romances. There's nothing wrong with that, or fade to black. We just don't read enough of those to do a whole episode on those. But if you have like a topic like binge reading, or you really love a movie or a TV show like Mobland. Is anyone watching Mobland on Paramount?
Yes. Oh my God, Tom Hardy.
Okay.
I love me some Tom Hardy. Also, can we just say, like, going in this direction, he would have made a great Mr. Darcy.
Right? He would have been a great Mr. Darcy.
When I heard him say that.
I think that we need a recast, right?
I would watch that.
Would you watch that? I bet he could do the hand clench. I mean, it's Tom Hardy. Anyway, so like if you like Mobland and you would like us to do an episode, like if you like Mobland, read these books.
I'm back in my dark era, so I can help you with that.
So anyway, if you have ideas for episodes, put them in Discord, send us an email, send us a DM, let us know, because we really could use some fresh ideas and inspiration. It might not be exactly what you tell us, but it might give us a chance, like a jumping off point where we can be like, oh, well, let's twist it up this way, which is what we try to do, right? We try to take and twist it up on its head. So yeah, if you have a topic you want us to talk about, let us know, because we could use some ideas. We're going into summer, and also it is almost May 1st. We are going to have summer reading in 2025. And it's going to be so good.
It's going to be real good.
I'm so excited for it. So anyway, we'll be back here Sunday night. Not sure 100% what we're talking about, but we're talking about something. And then next week is our very last Rockstar romance for this series of Sip and Discuss. I'm sure we will come back to Rockstars, because Amanda's list was not even like, was your Rockstar TBR even really touched?
No, not really. I mean, because we did 2 books that I've already read, and I meant to read more, but it just hasn't happened. And I have a lot more like on my Kindle. It's just time. Fair. And the one we're doing next week is one of my favorites. So I will have no bad things to say.
Okay, so next week we are deep diving into Dirty Like Me by Janie Diamond. I believe it's currently available on Kindle Unlimited. Also, if you are planning on reading our May wedding reads with us, there are quite a few that are wide releases or TradPub releases that are available through libraries and Hooplas. I highly suggest that, especially the very first one that we're doing that first week, get your library hold in right now so that you can get that book. If you didn't, it was on sale a couple months ago, and I know a few of us grabbed it then. Leah didn't, but the rest of us mostly did. It's okay. It's on my Kindle, Leah.
It's on my Kindle.
My
also.
surprise face.
It's your surprise face. Anyway.
Thanks, Jenni.
Anyway, thank you everyone for joining us for this episode. Until next time.
Happy reading, everybody.
Find us on Instagram at Buzzing About Romance or on Twitter at Buzzing Romance. If you like the podcast, please leave a review. If you'd like to support us directly, join the Bookcase and Coffee Patreon and receive exclusive content only available to Patreon members. Check out bookcaseandcoffee.com for our on-the-shelf show notes.